The average American dies at 77 years old and they work until they're 64 years old. So if you do the math, most Americans work for 42 years to only enjoy 13 years of retirement. Let's reverse engineer how that looks, and then I'm going to reverse the script and I'm going to show you how to work for 13 years so that you can then retire for 42 years. From age 0 to 18, most Americans are growing up and graduating high school at the age of 18. Then a decent chunk of people are either going to trade school or going to college and graduating college at age 22. So from age 22 to age 64 or 42 years, most Americans are working for somebody else's dream, making somebody else wealthy, saving their money, living frugally, to only then retire at 64 and then unfortunately pass away around the age of 77 and only have 13 years of old age retirement to actually enjoy life. Let's reverse that. Let's use my knowledge, let's use real estate, and let me open your eyes, and I'm going to show you right now on paper how to work hard for 13 years. It's not gonna be easy, but this plan is bulletproof, it's foolproof, and it works if you follow it for 13 years. Let's call it lucky 13 years, and then you'll be able to retire and live for 42 more years and actually enjoy life. And don't worry, I know not everybody watching this is 22 and ready to start their life. However, if you're a little bit older, it's still okay. You can still work for 13 years to enjoy the rest of your life, or all you have to do is adjust a couple of the numbers I'm gonna give you and you can retire much faster than 13. This is a very, very simple and quick plan to retire. All right, so we're gonna use real estate naturally, okay? I'm not gonna teach you the nuts and bolts of investing in real estate. I have thousands of hours of content on social media and my podcast that tells you how to do that. I even have a mentorship community that can tell you how to do that. So let's not get caught up in the nuances of how to invest in real estate, how to find a private lender, how to find deals. That's for another video, and I can 100% teach you how to do that. But let's just look at the numbers so you can see that this plan is actually worth pursuing and you can actually do it. All right, here's the 13-year plan. What we're going to do is we're going to do one wholesale per year. Now, wholesaling is buying a real estate asset and flipping it and selling it without actually doing any work to it. And the national average per wholesale deal is a little over $20,000, but let's be conservative. You're gonna wholesale one house a year for 13 years and make $20,000. You're not spending it, you're keeping it, and you're holding it. Don't worry, you're gonna be able to spend it later. The second part of the plan is doing one flip a year. You're buying it, you're closing it, you're holding on it, and you're actually doing the work and selling it, and you can make a lot more money. The average flip fee around the country is about $40,000, but again, let's be conservative and let's say you average about $35,000 a flip. And then lastly, you are going to add one rental a year for 13 years. Sorry, my writing kind of sucks, just deal with it. That is going to give you a minimum of 50K equity in each one. So this is the plan. I spelled equity wrong, but you get it. This is the plan, okay? Now, let's talk about what happens after 13 years. And trust me, I know this right here, this is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, but I promise you can do it. A lot of people are going to be working until you're 64 years old. Just always constantly think about, I don't want to work until I'm too old to actually enjoy retirement, considering 401ks don't pay out till you're 60, IRAs don't pay out till you're 60, you don't get Social Security till 62. Everybody's telling you to wait till you're 60 to retire. This is not easy, people. This is gonna take a lot of work, but you're going to be able to retire in a fraction of the time, and you're gonna be able to enjoy life when you retire at a younger age. So just stick with it, I promise it's worth it. All right, now let's get into the fun stuff. So you have 13 years of wholesale profit, okay? So we're gonna take that wholesale profit, and that's gonna be 20K times 13 years. So you're going to have $260,000 of cash from your wholesale profit. And then flipping profit was even more, okay? So your flipping profit's gonna be that $35,000 that we talked about times 13K equals $455,000. So you have $455,000 of flip profit. So those two combined, which should be cash in your account, you can put it in a money market account, you can put it in a safe account, CDs, make even more with it, but we're not assuming you're doing any of that. We're assuming it's just cash sitting in your bank. You're gonna have $715,000 of profit build up between those two things. And again, I think I mentioned it earlier, maybe not, but you can do this all on the side with a full-time job. I have students that literally buy 15 to 30 houses a year with a full-time job. Wholesaling, flipping, rental. I had Julio, one of my students, he's bought 20 houses, 20 rental properties in the past 10 months. Gino, another one of my students who's now a coach, he did 18 deals this year and did 12 fix and flips and 1 new build. So I promise you, doing one of each of these will be a breeze, especially if you have the right guidance. All right, back to this. So $715,000. Now, let's get into the rental equity. This is a fun part. Let's look at the rental equity now. I'll spell equity right this time, okay? Boom, I did it. All right, so you're gonna get $50,000 equity per house, minimum. Using the BRRRR method, or even if you want to put 20% down cash from your active income, however you wanna do it, that's fine. I do it under my own money. You can use money, but this is assuming a house is worth like 250 grand and you have a $200,000 mortgage. All pretty simple. You can do that with the BRRRR method. You can do that with putting money into the deal, however you wanna do it, but 50K equity per deal. So you're gonna have 50K equity times the 13 houses, which is going to give you 650K equity, right? Wrong. Real estate goes up in value. It doubles in value every 15 years. The tenants pay down the mortgage. We're not even talking cash flow right now. So that house you bought year 1, by year 13, it will have almost doubled in value, and the tenant will have paid the mortgage down almost in half. So that 50K equity will turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars equity. So I went to ChatGPT and I told them exactly what I was doing. I told them, buy 1 house a year for 13 years, worth 250, owe 200 on, assume 4% appreciation and assume normal debt pay down. How much equity will I have in these 13 houses? Of course, house number 1 will have the most equity, house number 2 the second most, house number 3, and by the 13th year, that 1 house you bought that year will only have 50K equity, again, not assuming any inflation. We are going to have a little over $2.1 million in equity. So you got $715,000 cash after 13 years, and you have $2.1 million in equity. Now, let's talk about how you're gonna live and what you're gonna do to actually retire and not have to flip real estate anymore, not have to do anything else. After these 13 years, you can be completely done. You're probably not gonna wanna be done. You're probably gonna have systems in place where you can wholesale 5 a year, flip 2 a year, and buy 10 rentals a year at this point. But again, we're bare bones in this shit. We are keeping it simple and easy so you can see the actual power at the minimum baseline level. All right, now you have $715,000 that you got from over here from your profit of your wholesales and your flips, right? So let's say you take that $715,000 and you throw that in the stock market, which is not a bad play considering you're young. You can go the route and try to, put money in and get a little bit in the CD or something. I think just throw it in the stock market considering you have multiple streams of income coming in. So throw it in the stock market, and the stock market averages about 8%, right? So you put that $715,000 in the stock market and you pull out your gains, which is a lot of what people do in retirement. They have a big chunk of money somewhere and they pull out their dividends or their gains every single year. So you're going to be pulling out $57,200 a year. That is your live on income. This, say 715 stays the same, you are taking all the profits from that, and again, that's not even assuming you're investing that $715,000 as it grows throughout the years. I think that makes sense. All right, so 57K minimum you're making a year. However, at this point, you do own 13 rental properties, and guess what? You did it the right way, and they cash flow. Most rental properties are gonna cash flow $200 to $300 a month. However, rent goes up faster than expenses, so rent and your actual net cash flow is going to go up quite a bit as well. So let's be very conservative and assume after year 13 that you're going to be averaging about $500 per door per month. So times 12 months, so that is another $78,000 a year. So you are going to be pulling home $135,200 a year minimum to live off of in 13 years. You are still going to have $715,000 equity, and you're still going to have $2.1 million. In fact, if you go out to 30 years and you stopped buying real estate, you bought these 13 rentals and you stopped. At year 13, it's worth $2.1 million, but as all those assets go up in value 4% every year, and as the mortgages get paid down to nothing, so 30 years later, that will be worth a little over $8 million. We'll write it over here so you can see it, but you will then have $8 million worth of real estate because it goes up in value and tenants pay down the mortgage. And this doesn't even include all the tax benefits that go along with it. So I know this is a lot here on this plan, but this plan will allow you to retire in 13 years. And I'm not gonna do this and write this all down again, but if you wanna retire in 7 years, why don't you just, the math's not gonna work out exactly the same, but it's gonna be pretty close. Why don't you just multiply all this by 2? Why don't you do 2 wholesales, 2 flips, and 2 rentals a year? Math's not gonna be the exact same, but it can happen faster if you wanna retire in less than 13 years, if you wanna do it in 6.5 or 7 years. Yes, this is a lot of work to do this, but so is freaking working for somebody else for 42 years. Or if you're 35, so is working for somebody else for the next 27 years. This is something that can work and will work if you do it the right way. And if you want guidance in how to do this, I teach it for free here on social media all the time. My YouTube channel, my podcast, all the social media platforms, I'm on there giving free advice every single day. That's how I have 3.3 million followers. Not because of my looks, and it's not because of how I talk and articulate. I understand that I talk quickly and get excited and slur and mumble and all the things you're not supposed to do. However, what I do works, and I've done it. I've seen it happen in my life, and I have 2,000 students that have seen it happen, and I have countless other people that message me all the time on social media saying the things that I taught them have helped them. So if you want to get the minimum, follow this plan, reach out to me on social media, check out my stuff and help. If you want to make this happen faster with, being a part of my community, just let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll send you some information. There's a free training in the description as well that will walk you through a lot of this and will show you a little bit more nuance how to get the ball rolling, and it will allow you to hop on the call with my team. But you don't have to. I don't collect your phone number or your email address to get the free training. It's legitimately free. At the end of the training, you can peace out or you can learn more about my community. I'm fine either way. I really just want you to be successful. So if you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, like this video so you get notified when I have more videos come out, because I do a few of them a week. Make sure you follow me on all social medias. Go to Amazon and get my book, Own Your Freedom. It comes with a free video course of over 30 videos that explain how to do things. $10, go buy it. And last but not least, check out this video over here where I walk through the BRRRR method that allows you to buy these rental properties without using any of your own money, based on my experience buying 50 million in rentals using none of my own money. See you on the next one.